if the Dallas Cowboys aren't in the media during the offseason, I mean, it's not the Dallas Cowboys. It is what it is. That's every year.
Got to hit on your two former teams. I want to start with the Cowboys. So, first things first, if you were a part of this front office, which position would you prioritize in the first round of the draft?
Um, the Dallas Cowboys have always been predicated on a good run game. They went after some offensive linemen earlier. They went after some defensive linemen. They got a lot of skill guys, from the wide receiver position over the years, but they've been missing one thing when they got rid of Zeke. They, added Pollard in there. They tried to get a couple of other running backs, but they haven't had that ground and pound, as they usually say, right? And I think that's what they need to get back is a big back. I don't know which back in the draft specifically, but that's what takes the pressure off of Dak so he can sit back there. He can do his play action deal and make the big plays, but they gotta get the ground and pound back going.
Right. We know it wouldn't be a true NFL offseason if the Cowboys weren't consistently in the news for something. And yeah, all the hard-hitting journalistic questions right here for you, man. But right now, all the talks around a potential new contract for Micah Parsons. And recently, Jerry openly said that, nothing is imminent, which I feel like has to be somewhat of a concern at this point. So what do you make of the whole situation, or specifically how Jerry and company are handling these negotiations?
If the Dallas Cowboys aren't in the media during the offseason, I mean, it's not the Dallas Cowboys. It is what it is. That's every year. But talking with Micah a couple of days ago at Tyron Smith retirement ceremony, yeah, I mean, he was, so ready. He was like, I'm going to be here. I want to be a Dallas Cowboy, and I'm so focused. Hey, D, let's get and start doing some stuff during the offseason. So when I see him being proactive right now, and I see Jerry actually smiling, saying, "Hey, I got my number one, which was DeMarcus Ware, but also see my new number one, Micah Parsons, right there with him. Something's being done right. So let me maybe hurry up and get this contract done with Micah Parsons. I think that something's gonna, happen soon because you gotta have that edge rusher, and and that's part of the Dallas Cowboy way.
Right. We haven't talked to you since the hiring of Brian Schottenheimer, so I'd love to hear your take on promoting him to head coach and what kind of expectations you think he faces this season.
Oh man, when you say expectations, there's not a higher expectation when you talk about a
Right.
Dallas Cowboy head coach, and that's very, very hard position. But he has a good, supporting cast with, with Matt Eberflus that just came in, a couple of other guys that I got to talk to. So I think that everything is there, and you're going to get criticized regardless. Training camp, mini camp, it doesn't matter. It's about getting those wins, and when he starts winning those football games at the beginning of the season, everything will die down and he'll settle right in where he needs to be, and that's the head coach for the Dallas Cowboys.
Right. Last thing on the Cowboys here. We saw that you attended Tyron Smith's retirement press conference a few weeks ago. So how special was it to be there, and what was it like to play alongside such a talented player?
It was really cool because he came in as one of the youngest rookies ever in the draft at 20 years old, especially left tackle for the Dallas Cowboys. And I got to see him like grow right to 14 years later, one of the best left tackles to ever play the game. But one of the coolest things is our relationship. When he walked in and I gave him that big hug, it was almost like a big brother hug that we gave each other and say, I miss you. You see what I'm saying? I miss you in the locker room. I miss being around you. And that's what I miss. Being in the locker room, mentoring some of those guys. And he also, said something about me in his speech, and me being there and hearing that let me know that, as we always talk about, iron sharpens iron and another man sharpens another. That's what we did. And it's cool to see, that young man, have a good retirement ceremony.
That's amazing. Oh, so special. I want to talk about the Broncos very, very quickly with you. So on Monday, Adam Schefter reported that Denver is one of the few teams that has made calls about a potential trade up in the first round of the draft. So if that did happen, what could that trade possibly look like, you think?
I don't know. I know it's not a quarterback, that's for sure. I know they have
Yeah.
great wide receivers. I mean, they have like the it team. And just seeing them play last year, they got a really young defense, but they play really well. And I always say, if you don't know where to go on defense. because if you
Yeah.
bring the tenacity of the defense from a young guy that's coming in, that's going to be able to make big plays off the top, you got to go on defense. You won't go wrong there because the offense has been playing well and doing what they need to do. So, I'm a defensive minded guy, so I would say go from a defensive standpoint and draft there.
Right. Last one for you here. So Denver signed Evan Ingram last month. So how much of an impact do you expect him to have on this offense, specifically for Bo Nix? And then do you think, is he that guy that they needed to bring in to really help elevate him?
I think when you have a young team like that, when you bring in a little bit of the leadership, that veteran leadership coming in, that's usually what's missing. They got to early in the playoffs, and now when you bring in that veteran leadership, that's going to sort of press them and push them to that next level. That's why I didn't say draft on offense when you're bringing in a guy on offense. Now, keep going young on defense and let those guys just be I always say the pistol starters or the fire starters on defense to keep everything going on offense and keep them consistent.